Jake Diebler must aggressively attack the transfer portal to build Ohio State into a true contender.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in, Buckeye fans, to a bonus episode of Locked On Buckeyes, which is your daily Ohio State podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, also the host of the Jay Stevens Podcast. And during this Hardwood Huddle, we'll discuss what Jake Diebler can do in the offseason while using the portal to do it, because the transfer portal for college basketball opens tomorrow. Yeah, the first weekend of the NCAA tournament is complete, and the next thing you know, the portal opens. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to go in the portal to try to find another place to play college basketball in the upcoming season. And Ohio State's one of those teams that must aggressively attack the transfer portal to get quality players. You also have to get a quantity number too, because my gut tells me Austin Parks won't be the only Buckeye that goes into the portal. You could probably have 5 or 6 or maybe even 7 Buckeyes go to the portal. So you're not only having to get quality guys, you need to get quantity as well, but also be aggressive while doing it. Get guys that can ball, get guys that are aggressive, and get guys that fit the culture and the mindset that Jake Diebler wants on every basketball player. Because if you start doing this right now, you can shift the culture, you can change things, start to build Ohio State into the program that Jake Diebler wants it to be. But if I'm Ross Bjork, I'm looking at this basketball program and realizing this is not where it should be. And the transfer portal can help us get to where we want to be. So what can I do to help Jake Diebler make the program exactly what it should be? Now, Ross Bjork's not the head coach, so he can't get the culture the way that he wants the culture to be. He can assist in the ways that he can, but ultimately it's Jake Diebler. All eyes are on him. Everyone's trying to figure out what Ohio State is going to be next year. Yes, it's unfortunate that the season just ended. Your team declined an invitation to play in the college basketball crown, which resulted in the season ending, which is really, really bad. The Buckeyes went 17-15 this year. Some other numbers that just are really eye-popping to me. The Buckeyes were 10th in the Big Ten. They had the 59th best points per game average offensively at 78.8. They gave up 73.5 points per game, which is 227th in the country. That's not acceptable. That's not good at all. Offensive rating of 112.4, 68th in the country. Defensive rating of 104.9, 184th in the country. That's horrible. So some of these numbers are eye-popping and really bad, and Diebler can utilize that to fuel him and to try to get guys to fill in the holes in the roster. Really, you could get a whole new starting 5 if you wanted to. I don't think Ohio State needs to do that, but you need to get some quality bigs. While being aggressive up there, you got to get some bigs. One thing under Holtman that carried over into Diebler's first year is Ohio State not having quality bigs. Yeah, Zed Key was good, but Zed Key didn't get developed like he should have been. All of a sudden, Zed Key drops 20 pounds, and when you think a guy with 6'8", 240 was good in rebounding, it was good down low, and had a little mass to him, cutting the weight is great. He looked healthier. But on the basketball court, that 20 pounds was needed. Felix Okpara, a young guy, came in. All of a sudden, no, he's off to the portal too. Maybe it was a bidding war between Ohio State and Tennessee. I'm not sure, but Ohio State didn't keep him. And I believe Okpara made it to the NCAA tournament where Ohio State didn't. Now you got Austin Parks that's going out, and there's some transfers that came in last year. There was a forward guy that came off the bench. There was a starter that was a transfer. Didn't get the job done. So not only is there, when you talk about quality bigs are needed. Absolutely needed. Yeah, the Meechie Johnson thing was unfortunate where he came back in. Then after about 10 games, he ended up leaving the team. And I'm not sure exactly what went on behind the scenes with that, but he was no longer with the team. Had some investigation things that went on this year, which played into the results that were on the court. And Diebler can learn from that and do what he can do to make sure that doesn't happen. Well, the portal is here for you. The portal was here for every coach, but especially when Diebler's in this point in time where something has to change. You can't keep doing the same old thing and expecting a different result. This is very similar to the Chris Holtman era. Well, Diebler was under that, man. He got hired by Holtman to come into Ohio State. So it should be no surprise that the first year under Diebler is, well, it resulted in the way that it did. But be aggressive. Go out there and get another elite point guard. Have a competition out there. Go out there and get some guys that can light it up from deep. Go out there and get a 4-man that can play 2 through 5. Go out there and do a lot of these things that you need to do to build a roster. You're not just building a roster to complete a task. You're building a roster to be a true contender. Ohio State is a basketball program. It has a lot of history, that has been successful, has won Big Ten titles, has been to national championship games. You're not there now. They can be in the future. They can start that process right now by using the transfer portal and doing that, making sure the team is aggressive. While being aggressive in the transfer portal, they can work on not only shifting the culture, but also trying to retain some of their players from going to the transfer portal. We'll dive into that topic next. This episode is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. Daylight savings snuck up on us again. And if you're feeling that lost hour of sleep, 5 Hour Energy has your back. The extra sunshine means more time for fun, but sometimes you need a little boost to power through. Whether you're staying up late watching the NCAA tournament, squeezing in a round of golf after work, or just trying to keep up with your busy day, 5 Hour Energy gives you that quick, refreshing pick-me-up whenever you need it. I've been staying up late watching all the tournament action, and 5 Hour Energy helps keep me up the next day. Whether I'm at a game or traveling, 5 Hour Energy is easy to grab and keeps me feeling refreshed. Head to 5hourenergy.com to find over 15 flavors to choose from, including watermelon, blue raspberry, and peach mango. You can even build your own 12-pack or 24-pack delivered right to your door. Need one now? Grab a 5 Hour Energy shot at your local grocery or convenience store. They're everywhere. Stock up today and stay energized. This episode is also brought to you by Game Time. Imagine watching your favorite team live, feeling the energy of the crowd, and witnessing unforgettable moments. There's nothing like experiencing a big game in person. Getting tickets shouldn't be stressful. That's where Game Time comes in, making it easier than ever to grab last-minute seats at unbeatable prices. Game Time has numerous ways to help your ticket purchasing process not be stressful. One of them is Game Time Picks, which is a curation that makes it easier to find better value for tickets to sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and a whole lot more events near you. I just checked the Game Time map, and there are amazing deals on some huge matchups coming up with seat views before you buy, no surprise fees, and the lowest price guarantee. You can book with total confidence. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. That's LOCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guarantee. Thank you all for tapping into this bonus episode of Locked on Buckeyes and making this show your first listen of the day. And as I continue getting my head wrapped around Ohio State as the transfer portal opens up tomorrow for college basketball, I think about guys on the team that are untouchable. Similar to the way NBA teams look in free agency, there are guys on the team that aren't going anywhere. Everybody else is up for grabs, no matter if you're an unrestricted free agent or restricted free agent. Doesn't matter the category. You're untouchable. And I think Ohio State has a few guys, but by keeping those guys while also being aggressive while trying to go into the transfer portal to get quality athletes, you can also shift the culture. That's basically what Ohio State needs to do right now. Shift the culture and pursue doing what is needed so everybody on the team realizes we can win. We can win big games, especially on the road. Yeah, you had a flop against Auburn early in the year, but Auburn is one of the best teams in the country. Okay, that may happen. You had some good conference wins. You had some good non-conference wins, but in totality, you were basically a 500. You're barely above 500. That's not good enough. So let's shift the culture while keeping certain guys on our roster going into next season. There really aren't many. I do this. It's a exercise my dad and I do, talking about the Pacers and Colts, and we're fans of those teams there. Outside of Bruce Thornton and Devin Royal, and John Mobley Jr. If certain guys want to go, let them. I'm not here to be mean. But as I look at the roster right now, Micah Parrish is gone. I wish he could stay. I really do. He was fun. It was a fun watch, averaging 13 and 4 during its final year of playing college basketball. Sean Stewart, what are your thoughts? Aaron Bradshaw? I would keep Sean Stewart, honestly, but you didn't get the production. He averaged 5.7 points per game. Aaron Bradshaw averaged 6. So one of your 7-footers averaged 6 points a game and 2.7 rebounds. Your other 7-footer averaged 1.6 a game and 1.5 rebounds. But combined, they're not averaging 10 and 10. That's not good enough. You can let a lot of your roster go. Keep 3 guys that are guys that can be building blocks for the program, and then fill everything else in around them. Now, you're not going to do that. Yeah, Michie Johnson's gone. Talked about him earlier. Quez Glover is gone. Micah Parrish is gone. For the most part, you're going to have a lot of your roster that can stick around and still be there. But are those the guys that you want to stay on the team? As you're trying to shift the culture, keep your 3 or maybe 4 guys out of your core players. Spend the money you got to spend to keep them on the roster, while also trying to spend some money to get some guys to come into Ohio State. Because you can. Now, the issue is some of the collectives and the boosters may not want to spend the money with the basketball team because the product is pretty bad right now. I'm not trying to be negative about this team, but as I watch the team play and as the season came closer and closer to ending, it wasn't a very competitive product. No. It didn't seem like guys were on the same page. It didn't seem like guys believed. The body language was poor. I mean, there were so many things that went into this team really not believing and not being very successful down the stretch, even losing 5 of their last 7 games. You can utilize all of that and bottle all that up. And when a guy says, man, y'all were bad down the stretch, well, you say, yeah, that was last season. Next year is different. And if they say, well, what about the previous years? You can say, I wasn't the head coach. Okay, you got to have a comeback for a lot of these things because a lot of these kids are very, very smart, and they're going to have things about Ohio State's basketball program, the current state of it, what are you going to do to change it? And you got to have an answer. Well, Jake Diebler is trying to shift the culture and utilizing the portal to do it. He must be aggressive, but also do what's needed to retain Bruce Thornton, Devin Royal, and Jal Mobley Jr. You retain those guys. Yeah, there was no big there. But do you truly think those bigs are the kind of guys you can build upon for the future to get the culture the way that you want it to be? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but that's for you to decide. You got to get quality bigs. I could harp on that all the time. I don't. The lack of production from the bigs was something we saw under Chris Holtmann. Zed Key was really decent at it. Honestly, I thought his junior and senior years would be great. That wasn't the case for him, and he's not finishing his career at Ohio State, which is very unfortunate. But Ohio State has a great opportunity in front of them to build on the roster, utilize the transfer portal, and while shifting the culture inside the program. Thank y'all for tapping in Locked On Buckeyes and making this show a part of your day. For your second listen, go ahead and check out Locked On College Basketball because Andy Patton and Isaac Shade are the only guys you need to listen to or watch, along with the whole cast on the bracket breakdown on Locked On and Amazon Fire TV, where you can go ahead there and get your breakdown of the bracket and stay up to date with everything going on with the NCAA tournament. They also go on top about the NIT and the college basketball crown and the transfer portal. I mean, if you want a college basketball fix, go to Locked On College Basketball. Just like you should go to Locked On Buckeyes for your Buckeye fix, you can find both shows on the YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow me on any social media platform at jstevens07. Send every email to jstevens317@gmail.com. This has been Locked On Buckeyes. We'll see you next time.